Stevie, first of all, let's look back at Saturday's game against Greenock Morton to begin with. A 1-0 victory, back to winning ways, and 3 points back up to second. It was a good weekend, wasn't it?
It was, Jordan. And on the back of the couple of weeks that we had faced, it had been a very testing 2 weeks. I said that after the game. Great credit to the boys, the players, the coaching staff, everybody at the club, because I did say we could use it as an excuse in defeat, or it would bring us together. And it's a good feeling sitting here at the moment that we've won the game, and I think deservedly so won the game as well, and we're now sitting in second place.
Against Queen of the South, you had a lot of the ball, but maybe didn't create as much as you would have liked. How did you feel that compared to Saturday? Were you happier with the attacking intent that the team had?
It's strange, because I've always said this: you don't win games of football just on the possession of the ball that you have. Down at Queen of the South, I think we're up at 60% of possession. But, playing against a low block, we didn't create enough clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities on the day. We had worked on trying to get in behind the Morton backline, which meant playing a little bit more direct at times. We saw that as one of their weaknesses. And we did create a number of chances at the weekend where we looked like we were more cutthroat. And, I think we got the penalty from a ball in behind for Scott Banks to get on the end of, albeit we didn't score the penalty. But, just towards the end of the first half, Scott Banks steals one from Stephen McGinn, break in at pace, plays a forward pass to Dom Thomas, who's breaking forward. I thought it was a terrific cross. I didn't realise at the time how good a cross it was. A sort of a flat cross with pace on it that allowed Craig Whiting just to connect with it and head it goalward. So pleasing that Craig got his goal after missing the penalty, and having taken all 3 points. It's an important 3 points for us.
As you said, Craig Whiting getting another goal, 3 goals in 3 games, and people maybe look at his goal on Saturday as another header. That's 2 out of the 3 goals with his head. Is that something that you feel his aerial presence, his physique kind of provides us in the box? Do you feel he's an all-round striker, that he doesn't just score with the ball at his feet, he's able to kind of battle with the defenders as well in there?
I think I'm right in saying that the Scottish Cup game at Hampden, he scored a decent header as well for Hearts earlier in the season. So it's more about the timing and getting in the right place at the right time. And I think that's something that Craig can continue to improve on, as all strikers can. But if you find yourself getting into those areas of the pitch, I keep saying it, there's a certain area in the penalty box that a certain percentage of goals are scored from. So if you don't get yourselves into the positions, you're reducing the chances of scoring goals. So it was very pleasing that Craig had the belief in himself to get himself into that position. As I say, it was a great bit of play from Scott Banks and Dom's cross to find them as well.
When you look at the other end of the pitch, and I was just on there to whine about the defensive structure of the team, and the team are the ones with the least amount of goals conceded in the league, albeit other teams have played a game or 2 more. But heading into that final third of the season, is that a stat that you're really proud of and feel that there's a base there to go and build from?
I think that's a foundation to all good sides, if you don't lose cheap goals. So it's pleasing on that side of things that I think we do look solid over the course of the season we have. That's not to say we can get complacent on that side of things, but I truly believe, on the back of what was a test in 2 weeks for us as well, it would have been easy to look for excuses. But it brought a togetherness, it brought a solidness, a resilience, strength of character. All these things brought together, and, if you don't concede goals, you give yourself a great chance of winning games of football, and that was a really pleasing feature of Saturday's performance. When
you look at the team news overall for Saturday's game coming up, is it fair to say that everybody's available and in contention if that's how you want to play it in terms of who's in the 18?
Yeah, again, I'll go back now in terms of it being, it's a competitive squad we've got. There are going to be boys that are left out, the 18. but we've got to pick the right 11 first and foremost, and then pick the right substitutions the way we think that games are going to go, depending on who we're playing against. So it's a lot of competition for places at the moment, and other than Ryan Dow and Lewis Martin, we should have a full squad of players to be able to choose from. Lewis Mayo obviously will return from suspension, so we're in a good place.
Kyle McDonald, he was a player that was expected to go back to Airdrieonians on loan, but I believe that there's maybe a bit of a change in that situation. Is that right?
Yeah, it's sort of come to a head over the weekend there. So Kyle McDonald was meant to go back. That was part of being able to bring him in the first place if League One was going to be starting again. But then having discussion with Ian Murray, I spoke with him at the weekend. It came up in conversation that he was interested in Kyle Turner. With a view, would we be interested in possibly doing a deal with Kyle going to Airdrie and us bringing Kyle McDonald and keeping him in the building for the remainder of the season? So in that regard, I felt, having looked at the squad, in the best interest for this club moving forward, I felt it was right that the balance to the squad, having spoke to the chairman, having spoke to my coaching staff, that was something that I was wanting to consider. After training on Monday, I spoke to Kyle Turner and made him aware that Ian Murray had expressed an interest in him and asked him to go away and think about it, but we would need to have an answer on Monday afternoon to see if that was something that he wanted to go and do. So it's something that's evolved. Kyle has decided that he would like to go to Airdrie. I'd like to thank Airdrie in the terms of them doing business with us and letting Kyle McDonald come into the building. And, I wish Kyle Turner all the very best at Airdrie for the remainder of the season.
Fans will maybe be slightly surprised, Stevie, to see Kyle Turner has been allowed to leave on loan to Airdrieonians. Why did you believe it was in the best interest of the club that deal took place at this time?
Jordan, it's one of them that we had offered Kyle Turner a new contract, and it's his prerogative, and he felt that he didn't want to sign it. So when I spoke to Ian Murray and he declared an interest, I just felt that the balance of the squad was right with Kyle McDonald in it, and it was in the best interest of this football club moving forward that we brought in Kyle McDonald for the remainder of the season and allowed Kyle Turner to move on.
So going into that final third of the season, and we sit second, is that a position where if that had been offered at the start of the season, you would have been satisfied heading into those final 9 league games of the campaign and that position with the view trying to continue to push on into the playoffs and push for promotion to the Premiership?
I think what I've always said, Jordan, is that you always try to get better at everything you do in life. And I think that we have got better. As a football club, we've got better and we're taking steps in the right direction. But that's not to say that, you just, it's okay, pat in the back, we'll accept that. There's a hunger there. That was the important thing for me at the weekend as well. Morton, under a new management team, we had experienced that earlier in the season. They came and managed to beat us 2-1 on the day, whether it was a deserved loss. We can sit here and argue that all day long. But we faced an opposition at the weekend where they came with a new management team, where they wanted to prove a point to them, and we overcame that. We've got 9 hard games that'll be coming. It's going to be a tough 2-month period. Again, going back to that's why I felt that it was right to bring in Kyle McDonald to help the defensive options that we've got in the squad. And every player's going to be needed. Every player's going to be asked to play minutes. And I'm sure, we've got a mentality that'll help us get through to the end of the season. And
just finally, talking on evolving as a club and that hunger to go and succeed, we see today that Kevin Nisbet gets called up to the Scotland squad. Is that just an indication of where the Dunfermline players are in the building at the moment and the ones that you're trying to attract for further down the line could aspire to? Is that something, again, that you look on as a part of the evolution of the club, as how we've helped Kevin Nisbet progress in his career?
Yeah, and you just said it. it's the word "we" is important for me. We helped him. Dunfermline helped him as a football club. I know other clubs have played their part. We only played a small part in it, but it was an important part in Kevin's development. And it's really pleasing for a guy that came and had a successful season for us. A year down the line, has now managed to break into the Scotland international setup. And as I say, it was a player that we were disappointed to lose in the summer. But, you know, we've always said that we want to attract players that are hungry to go on and do well and play at the highest level possible. And I'm delighted, and I speak for everybody at this football club that wish Kevin all the very best on having broke in, that hopefully he can go and have a successful international career as well now.
Good luck on Saturday. Here's to another 3 points and another clean sheet.
Cheers. Thanks, Jordan.